Hi, listeners. Welcome to Off the Cuff with Namrita. Hope you all are having a lovely weekend. And today I have two incredible women with me. One I know personally, and one we will get to know about today. Yes, and many of you probably will know her through her social media handles. It is my honor to be talking to extremely beautiful human beings, who are persisting and making a difference globally. Welcome, Shree Saini and Ruhi Hak to Off the Cuff.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Namrita.
you. And it's an honor to speak with you as well. Thank you for showcasing our story and allowing us to, raise awareness for important causes.
It is my pleasure altogether, and thank you for giving me the time. You were both were very busy, so this means a lot to me. I'll just give a very brief introduction, for both of you. Shree Saini, as many of you know, is the Indian American model and beauty pageant title holder. She represented the United States at Miss World 2022, reaching first runners up and winning the Beauty with a Purpose National Ambassadorship. Saini is the first Asian woman to represent the United States at Miss World, a huge achievement, and congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I have lived a very fortunate life that I was able to represent America and my Indian heritage at Miss World. And I have been through a very painful life as well. I'm a burn survivor. I have a pacemaker. So I'm only alive because of this incredible machine. And because of everything I've been through, all the pain I've suffered, it has really instilled in me a desire to make a big positive impact. So I met Ruhi Ji and I fell in love with everything that she's doing with Hope BLit, her nonprofit. She herself, whatever money that she's able to fundraise, she flies to India and helps light up towns and villages in India. So I was so amazed that she's a person who doesn't just talk about service, but she gets the job done. So my whole purpose of this interview is to inspire people to raise money for her and her nonprofit and not just feel good at the end of this interview like, oh, I felt good, I feel inspired, but I want people to actually do good. Take the knowledge from this interview, take the knowledge that she's going to share with you of all the work that she's doing and actually apply that knowledge. So I just want to inspire people to be action oriented in their life, not just say they want to be of service, but actually be of service.
Very well put, I'll say. And let me start with Ruhi. Then, Ruhi, you are the founder of Hope BLit. And like Shri just said, that, she wants people to know more about Hope BLit. So, would you like to briefly touch upon your work and how you both are collaborating now?
So I met Shree. She was our keynote speaker in one of the very amazing cultural events we recently did, and that's how we connected. And just a very real person. You know me, Namrita ji. I really don't connect easily with celebrities. You know, she's a celebrity here,
Just a
and
friend.
and now she's a friend. Yes, I mean, I actually wanted her story to be brought forward as well because we all need courage in our lives, and we all need to be inspired by real stories and. Only once you're inspired to face your own life and take over those obstacles can you really go out and serve, right? Because charity does begin at home. If my household is not covered or my own self is not well, you can't really go out and serve. So I really think she's a great example of that.
Thank
And
you.
just reading and knowing about her, you can see how this is a mutual appreciation club over here. So I really connected with her and just great of her to give time today in such a busy schedule. She's here for the Miss USA and Miss
yes.
Teen USA as a judge. And to give time to service projects and an interview like this is just showing how she means action when she says she's not just saying words. So I appreciate that and Hope BLit. I mean, we have a social impact film wing that, has gone on to serve kids with cancer and be able to educate and fund their treatment. We have done movies called The Rickshaw Wali that you know about as well, Namrata ji, and we funded for her education and her. So we actually do films that actually impact the protagonists, their lives. And then our education in human values, we are again starting out. We're in UTLA, which is the second largest union district for school teachers. And we are going back with education and human values into that. I've just been in meetings for that. And my Solar Light project, of course, that is my newest love in going to India and in rural India and urban rural areas where we think everything is lit, there's darkness. And with solar lighting, we've been able to actually eradicate that. And when you spread light, your life does get lit, and you know that. So really making efforts in that area. Our newest partnership is with Give, which is a veteran foundation, and an event is just recently coming up, and we are funding for deaf kids to be able to actually get skill-based classes, like basic things like language skills, sign language skills, which will really help them in life. So lots of projects. Our project's priorities changes, like life does, and the chaos in this world. But mental wellness, holistic wellness is really the aim.
Very true, very true. And such a commendable work, I have to say. You're always busy, always there for people. And that's what pulls, people like Shree to you and your organization, Hope BLit. And besides just being the founder of Hope BLit, Ruhi is also a director, writer, producer, and musician. She sings very well, I know. And yeah, Shree, now, you just mentioned briefly that you uh, came around, you had two major things in your life that happened. First, yeah, when you were at the age of 6, or at the age of 12, you had to have
Wow.
a pacemaker. So tell us about a little bit about how you overcame those downs in your life, because it's not easy for to come out from that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say there are three main steps
Okay.
to overcome any adversity. One is to lean in with gratitude. On Miss World stage, I said, if you have a heartbeat, you have a purpose.
Mm.
So even when I was going through such a horrific time, and doctors were telling me I could not be physically active again or dance again, dance brings me so much joy. And I was really shaken up as a little kid, because that's something that I really look forward to, that brought me so much peace. I just decided, you know what? I still have the medical care, I still have health care. So I'm going to live in gratitude. The second step is full acceptance of what you're going through.
Mm.
Realize that you can't fight the fact that you have a complete heart block. You have to completely accept that this is a situation that you'll have to deal with. And third step is to consistently take action to overcome your hardship. So for me, when I had incision right here, and I went through heart surgery, left side of my body was pretty numb and immobile for many weeks and months ahead. So I had to give myself incremental goals to raise my arm higher and higher, to go to physical therapy, to get stronger, to make sure I'm well rested, I have good nutrition. So just focus on, whenever you're in a hardship, accept what circumstances you're going through, focus on what you can do best to make yourself more resilient physically and mentally. So I think having those incremental goals, just focusing on gratitude really helped me overcome it. And mindset is everything. So just know that people who are probably watching this interview, they have access to food, shelter, water, internet, healthcare, and they're probably in the top 1% of all the, of being in the top 1% when it comes to privileges. So I think it's for me, when I was a young girl, I always saw it as a moral duty to give back. Even when I was a kid, I think when you're a kid, you kind of ask your parents, what is homeless issues? Why is it that I get to go to school and there's other kids who do not get to go to school? And then as adults, we kind of normalize other people's pain, and we kind of get used to seeing poverty and hunger. So that's why when I did the keynote speech, I really connected with Ruhi, because she doesn't normalize people's pain. She doesn't forget about it after being in the US, how, people are living in other parts of the world. And even in US, there's a lot of need, but people usually just get so comfortable in their life.
I Very inspiring, first of all. And uh, like I said, you just dig in there, and gratitude is, I think, very important for everybody, and especially living here in the US. We need to acknowledge our privileges and try to give as much as possible. But Shri, like you mentioned, here also I see these young kids go through a lot because of isolation, because of uh, pressures which are different from the kids living in India. So, and especially now, you were the one of the judges at the Miss Teen USA pageant. So, I wanted to ask you, what sets apart pageant girls from non-pageant girls, And just what advice would you want to give any young kid, I'll say here?
I think in pageantry, you learn life skills. You learn how to be confident, how to go on stage and speak about who you are
Mm,
and what your message is. I think it also puts you in a circle of so many accomplished young women. So you're always around friends and mentors and coaches that are always telling you to reach your potential. I don't think there's too much of a difference between a pageant girl and a normal girl. I think a pageant girl is very lucky to have this platform to learn those life skills of discipline,
mm,
consistent hard work, goal setting. But any individual can, earn have look can learn those life skills in other avenues as well. But my message to not only just kids but adults is to utilize your time. I think a lot of us are sometimes addicted to just consuming a lot, and we're addicted to our phone and we're constantly scrolling. And I want people to realize that they themselves have a voice and they should create more in their day-to-day basis than consume less and create more. Utilize your time on this earth, be aware of the privileges that and resources that you have. And I find truly my greatest joy from giving, and I know Ruhi does as well. So think about what can you do beyond just your own day-to-day life. Instead of thinking about my goals, my kids, my titles I'm going to be given, think about your community goals. What are your goals for service? What are you, and that's what I told the Miss Teen USA contestants,
mm.
because there's only one national winner, but all of these contestants go back in their state and they have the ability to serve. So I told them to actually create a goal to do 50 to 100 service projects in 1 year. And instead of just sitting idle and just letting life consume you, you need to take control of your own life and your own schedule.
That is good to know because, pageants have gotten a lot of flack lately in the media. Sometimes they are, looked down upon just because they say, oh, they only focus on physical beauty. But like you said, there's more to it than just physical beauty. And, it's a platform to provide service to the community. So that's what I'll tell my audience, that please look into it, more carefully. It's not just, the aesthetic beauty, and for me, that's really good to know, because when you're growing up as young girls, I'll say, you look up to people and you say, oh, we can never be like them. But as you're saying, there's not much difference between a pageant girl and a non-pageant girl. They all have, their abilities to make a change in the world, and that's wonderful to hear from, a winner. And you both are empowered women, here, and beautiful human beings. And Ruhi, you have always inspired me. I really look up to what you do. So, tell me about your recent trip to Gaza. I mean, you managed to go close to the outskirts of Gaza. That was, amazing. And you said, I might not see you again. And in a very nonchalant way, I'm like, this girl is a little crazy. But how do you do that?
Because you live completely in every moment of your life. Like she said,
Uh-huh.
right? If you have a heart, you have a purpose. And I think if you live completely, then we don't really fear all these things. And where there's a need, you would want to be there. Because why would you lose that chance? And I couldn't go to Gaza, of course. I mean,
Yeah,
that would
that
be really
not
hard. But I went to the outskirts where I
outskirts.
could,
Yes.
and not just that region, which is going through such havoc right now, but also the Israeli side. I mean, there was refugee camps even on that side from Aqaba. So base was in Jordan, and then we kind of went to Egypt, and we tried to serve both sides as much as we could. We didn't have much means. We only had a couple of months, just like I usually do, and the war came out of nowhere, and so we did what we could with medical supplies, with my holistic tools. That it's really interesting how you can give food and clothes and medicine and certain skills of just how to deal with anxiety, in the middle of such thing for the youth, was so powerful over there. And I'm really blessed to get into the somatic mental health and trauma therapies that have given me so much, that you can just leave them with that, because there's only so much food or so many supplies you can leave them with, but life skills you can leave them with, how to deal with trauma forever.
That I can't even imagine how you could have done that, because we don't know the situation, the people, especially dealing with the with war. And I know you are a certified somatic trauma, uh, you've done therapy, so you're a therapist, and you can help in certain ways. Shri, I was seeing one of your YouTube videos with your mom, and that was so beautiful. She's a lovely person, I have to say. And it showed that she is your inspiration. uh, Anything you want to say to people who are in difficult circumstances, and you had a very good support system. You're saying you are from Punjab, Punjabi hote hi hai, they are so anything for them, for the people who are losing hope, how can they stay in there?
Just pick one anchor thought, one powerful thought
Mm.
at a time. Anytime there's a negative thought that gets you down, immediately think about the root cause of the problem. What is that root of the thought that's causing you so much tension? Is it someone bullying you at school, or taking away an opportunity that you thought was yours? Whatever the problem that you're dealing with, maybe it's mental health, physical health, maybe it's a relationship issue. Think about what are the solutions that I can apply to lessen the worry thoughts that I have. So constantly be solution oriented, have a possibility mindset, continue to journal how you can overcome this hardship. There's always a solution. Wherever there's a problem, there's always a solution. So instead of just staying in that atmosphere of constant worry, think about having a warrior mindset. And I constantly listen to audiobooks. I watch YouTube videos. I find inspirational from a lot of motivational speakers. So just like we, feed our bodies with good food and nutrition and water to keep ourselves physically healthy, it's our duty to do something every day to feed ourselves to be mentally strong. You don't just can become mentally strong in an instant. It takes consistent practice. And the minute start recycling those negative thoughts and start growing a more positive mindset, that will become your more go-to reaction, to be more positive, to be more resilient. The more you work on it, the more you're able to defend yourself when there are stresses that come to your day-to-day life.
Yeah, wonderful advice, I have to say. And we are living in an information driven society. There is so much of information being bombarded to us from every single, everywhere. And I think it's great that you said that choose what you're listening to wisely, or looking at wisely, because you'll get everything these days on internet. Just a question that's coming to my mind, because you said so. Who has been your inspiration recently, in media or in American media or otherwise?
I find, I drive inspiration from so many people. Ruhi has been my actually recent
I was gonna
inspiration.
say Shree. Oh my God,
So I
my
wanna, I
recent
wanna, I
inspiration.
wanna talk about Ruhi because I met her a few months ago, where she invited me to be a keynote speaker. So I saw her working, day and night to put this event together. She was just volunteering for this event. So she's like the type of person who will pick up the phone whenever you're in trouble. She's the one who will, come put your event together. She's like a chaos coordinator. So I always am so proud of her, and I want her to kind of explain more what she's doing. And I also loved watching her video. Is it Rickshaw Bolly?
Rickshaw,
Rickshaw.
rickshaw.
Yes, I watched the video of this.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah, the often woman who just wanted the opportunity to work. She just wanted the ability to work so she can help fund her family's bills. And here in the Western culture, we're constantly complaining about work. So it just reminded me of how truly lucky we are. And that movie, I showed it to my mom. I watched it myself, and it just drove me to really take action towards supporting Ruhi even more.
Rohi, what about you? What about you? Tell us a little bit about your projects.
I mean,
Who
you know,
inspires?
I I always, when I worked with rape victims, people said, were you raped, right? And then I worked with children with cancer, and they said, anybody in your family that had cancer. It's really strange how the world thinks that you have to go through something to really be able to empathize with it, right?
Right.
And so when I see people like Shree, I really get inspired because fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, I'm very grateful. I've never been through something actively that has been so traumatizing, right? And so when I go in and I serve people who are going through it, I mean, it's an opportunity for me. I don't think it's something that we are doing for others. I mean, they are going through it. We
Hmm.
are just there and that's all we are doing. So I think the people who serve, they should look at it like that, that it's really such a huge opportunity you get to be even able to be there for somebody who's actually going through it. And that's why Shree is so inspiring, because she's actually been through so much, right? And yet she's also there for others going through it. And that's one step even beyond what I'm doing, I think.
Thank you, thank you. But for me, I think what you said is really impactful. That you don't really have to go through a traumatic experience to give. And my dream to wanting to be a servant leader began when I was just 5 years old. I was 5 when I dressed up as a Miss World for Halloween, because I remember as a kid when I was being dropped to preschool and kindergarten. I was born in Ludhiana, Punjab, and then I moved to the US when I was a baby. But I noticed that why is it that I have this privileges and other people don't? So that just made me really sad to see the imbalances in the world, extreme poverty, extreme wealth. So I just want to, do everything in my capacity with my life. My dream is to, help tens and millions of people from hunger, from modern day slavery, from human trafficking. It's not just something that I did while I was Miss World America or Miss World runner up. I want, my life legacy as Shree to be a legacy of love and a legacy of a woman who constantly continued to give. Because there's so much need in this world, but a lot of people just forget. We get distracted, we forget, and we just get very self-consumed. And I want people to give themselves goals every single month for giving, give themselves goals for every year for giving. So as you increase in your income as you get older, you should be giving even more and more and more. The more blessed you get, the more blessings, the more I think it's your duty to bless other people more with all the blessings that you have in your life.
Wonderfully put, I have to say. I know that time is running out, but one thing I was, we all need a burst of inspiration in our lives. And, so any advice recently you've gotten from somebody that you hold close to your heart?
Uh, For me, I think the payment of success and the payment of positive impact is due every day.
Okay.
So manage your time wisely,
Hmm.
create intentional goals for yourself every day. And be the first one to initiate. I want to encourage people who are listening to this to make volunteering and a part of their life, service a part of their life, charity work a part of their life, and just do it. Stop overthinking. Stop thinking, oh, I will do this in a few years or when I'm older. Just do it. Keep the mantra to be action oriented and focus on having a bias towards action. So that's my advice, is just do the work.
Ruhi, any advice you've gotten from anyone that
I mean, I think the only advice we all need right now is to look beyond our backyards. I think people are
Oh,
so absorbed in their own lives. I think they really need to look beyond their backyards and know that we're all connected. What's impacting one will impact you eventually. It just is a matter of time. And I think we're forgetting that, even though we went through COVID, and also to be yourself. I think we're also forgetting that.
yeah, it's hard to sometimes be yourself because we have to figure out what we really are. You know, many people get
My
to
my problem is that I'm too much myself.
absolutely, and that's your power, I have to say. And like Shri said, choose your well wisely wherever you're drinking knowledge from. So lately, I've been listening to a lot of stuff on a Russian writer and philosopher Dostoevsky, and he said that beauty will save the world. Where he says that you have to be good and true in whatever you do, and he like a farmer finds beauty in dirt also. He will till the land till it nourishes the next generation or something. So find beauty in the lowest, I have to say. And like, be selfless, like both of you, and be action oriented. That's what I learned from both of you. Don't just say, but do a little bit. I think random acts of kindness also help. If even if you don't have a platform like both of you do, everyday small things in life can also, bring light and hope in people's life. Uh, Follow both of them on social media. Where can they find you, both of you?
For me, it's just my name, Shree Saini, Shreesaini, and I have a website, shreesaini.org. And then Ruhi found me through my website and she emailed me at shri@shreesaini.org. So whatever I can do to help promote different charitable causes, I would be honored to. And also on my website, I'm gonna add about Ruhi, so where you can guys can donate,
My
can
God.
donate to our NGO. So people are always reminded to just do the work right now.
Wonderful. And Hope BLit is on Instagram, Ruhi. Where is it?
Yes, at HOPEBLIT, Hope BLit. Yes, you'll find Hope BLit there, and I'm hoping you'll put the information on your.
Absolutely. And there is a website also. I go there and donate. And thank you for spreading joy, light, and love around the world. It was my pleasure talking to both of you. Thank you for giving me your time. Take
Thank
care,
you,
Thank you.
Namrita.
Sri
Thank
and
you.
Ruhi. Bye bye.
Shosha is a creative Indian restaurant located in the heart of Silicon Valley. Shosha is a woman-owned business that serves traditional Indian flavors assimilated with molecular gastronomy techniques. The best Indian bar with happy hours in the Bay Area serves handcrafted drinks inspired by flavors from India with modern craft cocktails that are presented in unique ways. Shosha is a modern take on traditional Indian cuisine. We specialize in corporate luncheon, anniversary celebrations, birthday parties, and catering. Do check us out for a memorable modern Indian dining experience. Shosha is located at 141 South Murphy Avenue in Sunnyvale, California.